Thanks. 10 cent. Brilliant. Thanks.
Excuse me?
Sorry.
Big issue?
Can't afford it.
This song you just played, you write it?
Working on it.
It's not an established song?
No, it's not an established song.
How come you're not playing during daytime? I see you every day.
You know, during the day, people want to hear songs they know, just songs that they recognise. I mean, otherwise I wouldn't make any money. I play these songs at night. They wouldn't listen.
I listen.
Yeah, but you give me 10 cent.
Well, you do it for money then? Why don't you get a job in a shop?
I'll have a job in a shop. Listen, I'm going to get back to this, yeah? Nice to meet you.
Who'd you write this song for, please?
No one.
What came first then? Let's start. What came first, the movie or the music? Because music plays a huge part in it.
Well, I guess realistically the music, not the songs from the film, but the music came first because myself and John Carney were in a band together. I mean, John was in my band, The Frames, for years. And then when he left and went off to make films, he'd always kind of talked about the possibility of me and him making something together around music. And he came to me about 2 years ago with a sort of a 16-page outline of a story called Busker, which was about a guy who meets this Eastern European girl, you know, and he misses his girlfriend. His girlfriend's gone off to live in London, and this girl, it's kind of like, it was kind of like sometimes when you're in a relationship and it's not going particularly well and you meet someone else, it'll either solidify the relationship you were in or it'll destroy it. And so he was kind of interested in that idea. And he wanted to set it on the street, so he wanted it to be a street musician. And he basically asked me in originally just to give him some anecdotal, you know, the day in the life of a busker, and then I was very happy that he asked me to write some songs for it. So I'd say the script, the music, kind of our musical past came first, then the script, and then the songs for the film came after that.
And Marketa, how did you get involved in the film?
Well, through Glen, because me and him knew each other for 4 years before the film was shot. We'd been playing music together, and I guess Glen kind of recommended me as an Eastern European pianist to John, who wasn't 35 but 17 at the time. But you know, John decided he would meet me at least and see if I would suit the part, and so I came over to Ireland and I auditioned in a form of playing him a few piano tunes and singing, and that was it.
And had you acted before?
No.
So this is your first, literally your first acting part. And were you nervous at all in taking that on?
I wasn't until the first day of shoot. It's almost like it didn't hit me at all until we were in the bus going to the location of where the first scene was to be shot. And I think what did it for me was the fact that up until then it was only me, John and Glen talking about the film, and you know, it seemed like a home project, and then we got on the bus and suddenly there were 15 other people that I've never met before, with cameras and, you know, boom mics, and we were supposed to act in front of these people, and I just sometimes I feel a bit shy in front of people that I don't know, and you know, you can't get away with that being an actress, so I don't think I would be a good actress.
And you're a relative newcomer to acting as well, playing.
Yeah, I mean, it's not my thing at all. I played a small part in a film 17 years ago, and that was, you know, that was just something. It was like the atmosphere on the set during that film, which that was the Commitments by Alan Parker, and it was a really great thing to do. But again, I was on the street and a guy came up to me and goes, "You look like someone we could use because you have red hair and you're from the north side and you play guitar and so that's exactly what we're looking for this character Outspan. Would you read a few lines for us?" And I said, "Yeah, sure." And I read a few lines and I got the part. And so it was never something acting is never something I went after. It's come into my life twice now without me asking for it. And so there's something in that, I guess. But the atmosphere on the set back then was probably more like, you know, get your lines right and don't knock over the furniture. Whereas this felt like three mates making a film in our bedroom. It was much more like, you know, we got excited about cinema and we got excited about the possibilities of making a movie for no money and trying to make something against the odds, you know. So for us, Once was very exciting to make, you know. And it's funny because when people came up to me years ago and said, "Well done on the Commitments, well done, you know, well done on your part," or whatever, I never really felt the right to accept the compliment. So I always kind of rejected it, but just felt a bit kind of. Whereas with this, when people come up and say "well done," I kind of go, "Yeah, thanks." It's almost like, you know, because that was us, yeah, and they're our songs, and that was, you know. So there is a sort of sense of pride for this film, and I guess that's kind of part of the reason why we're why we're here, and we're
Yeah.
traveling around and we're enjoying the sort of promotion of it.
Falling slowly, eyes that know me, and I can't go back. And moods that take me and erase me, and I'm painted black. Well, you have suffered enough and warred with yourself. It's time that you won. Yeah. Take this sinking boat and point it home. We've still got time. Raise your hopeful voice. You had the choice. You made it now.
It's also the type of film that goes to prove that you don't need a big budget to make a good film with a decent story, with characters that seem realistic as
Yeah.
well, and it kind of proves all those, doesn't it? It kind of proves that theory.
It does, yeah. If you've got a good script, you know, you don't necessarily need the greatest lighting man in the world. You don't necessarily need the greatest cameras in the world. I mean, you can shoot a good film on a mobile phone if it's a really good idea. You know what I mean? If
Yeah.
it's a really good idea. And so I think that we were kind of forced, we weren't forced obviously to go that far, but
But it was 80,000, wasn't it? It was a shoestring budget.
80,000
Which is
80,000.
nothing in terms of making a movie in the big scheme of things.
Actually, it's funny. We did the culture show this morning, and we were talking to the producer, and she said 80,000. That's less than each episode of our show.
Yeah, that's right. I think they're about 90 a show.
Blown away by that.
So you've made this, and it's done very well. I mean, in terms of box office takings in America.
Yeah.
I mean, it's something about 7 million. I mean, it's a fantastic return for its money.
It's crazy. I mean, it's just been really amazing, and I don't really understand. It's done so well in America that it's almost like we're a bit bleary from it or something. It's a bit like what was it that, you know? And then it's funny because coming back then. We came back from America, and it was like Spielberg was on the phone to John Ridley Scott talking, and was like, wow, and you know, celebrities at our gig in Hollywood, and, you know, which is all like brilliant and all. But then we came back and we did a festival in Germany, and it was like, you know, we went in and everyone was just like, yes, we liked your film, it was very okay, and I was like, so it was like a complete, you know, just kind of getting wrapped up in all that excitement. It gives, you know, it's really good to come back and sort of find yourself, you know, in a place where, you know, like look what's showing here. I mean, it's you've got control in the others, and you know, sharing the sort of screen time with you, and that's an amazing film. And kind of in America, it didn't feel like that. In America, it kind of felt like, because we had Shrek 3, we had Spider-Man 3, and we had like Pirates of the Caribbean. These were all the films that we were up against, and it was like, well, that's no competition. As in, like, I don't mean like that our film was much better, but it was just like that. You know, those kind of films are just so completely different to ours.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, whereas to come here, it's much more like, okay, shit, right, we gotta, you know.
What's the check for Do You Love Him?
Mirage,
So, Maria Shaw?
Miluju tebe.
What?
Come on, let's go.
I remember when we were kids, Bruce Springsteen said, "The Edge is probably my favorite guitar player in a rock band," and I remember just sort of seeing what that did to you too. It sort of made, you know, this was before Live Aid and all, but it sort of made them into this super cool. Suddenly their gravity was like, you know, they were worth their weight in gold. And it's funny, like this film was trucking along, and Spielberg made this comment, and it's suddenly given everybody a reason to sort of talk to us about this film, and which is great.
In terms of press, it's what spins it around.
I
for us.
guess,
What,
yeah.
you know,
I just think I think the way the media works is really hilarious. I don't understand it, and I hope that by the time we kind of leave this and we kind of move on, and, you know, and have babies and live a different life, that actually it's not a, because it's one of those things. Celebrity is one of those weird things. If you embrace it and if you enjoy it, then you make a pact in blood with Satan, and you enter something that's gonna that's going to haunt you forever. The only way is either up or fucking down.
Well,
you know.
Lindsay Lohan's got a lot to say about that. Anyway, so what do you think people will take away from coming and seeing Once? Marketa, you first.
I don't know. For me, the film. What I like about the film is that it doesn't need to make any big statements. You know, even though it has a political subtext, and you know, it talks about a few issues, maybe in kind of modern Ireland. It's not like, you know, it's in anybody's face. It's a simple story of a friendship between two people and a musical connection they have together. And you know, it's for me, it's important that it's not, you know, it doesn't have a Hollywood ending, or it doesn't, you know, it's not, for me, it's not the kind of classic, kind of predictable movie, which is what I like in a movie. You know, I like to be surprised, and I like kind of not expecting an ending and seeing it. You know.
And yet it totally works for the film. And the ending is right. You know what I mean? It's right for the story.
Yeah.
It is. Well, you know, it's a very, very simple. I mean, whenever somebody asks us what is it about, it's kind of, you almost feel like there's nothing to it. You know, it's such a simple story that it really isn't. It's not like there's a big plot or anything. It's about two people that meet and have a friendship together and then part. You know, and then maybe meet again in future. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's about friendship. It's about friendship and the potential for something else. And sometimes, you know, when you meet someone and there's a connection, we automatically, quite often, mistake it for some kind of romantic connection. And sometimes when you try to take it to that next level and it doesn't work out, most times we'll leave the situation. Whereas I think in this film, once the girl kind of rejects the guy, he kind of realizes that actually she's really cool and that he should actually try a lot harder. And so in a way, I kind of feel that Once is like this. It's a story about a friendship that had other possibilities, but actually, like in real life, it doesn't always work out that way. And he loves his girlfriend, you know, and he wants to go back to London. And so this girl she's the heroine of the film. I think the whole film, the whole of Once rests upon that one sentence that Mara says early on in the film, which is, "You play this song to her, you'll get her back." And I think that's what the whole film rests on.
I'd like people to walk away from the cinema feeling inspired, which is what a lot of people have been saying. You know, I went home and I picked up my guitar after 10 years of not having played it, and I wrote my new song after 10 years, or you know, I went to my ex-girlfriend and I told her that I still loved her, or whatever, you know, whatever it is. I'd like people to walk away feeling, you know, empowered or something, if that makes sense.
Da, 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 da. I don't know you.
Who'd you write this song for?
She's gone.
She's dead?
No, she's not dead. She's gone.
My father used to play in the orchestra back at home.
You don't want to go for a walk or something, huh?
Take this candle and point it home. We've still got time. Raise your hopeful voice. You made it.
Do you want to stay?
I have to go now.
Stay tonight.
I have responsibilities. I spoke to my husband last night. He's coming over. I'll try to make it work.
See, you're just like everyone.
So what are you going to do?
I don't know.
When your mind's made up, when your mind
What's the check for the 11?
New Irish Hall?
trying to change it.
So, will you show us?
Made up.